Hey guys, Auntie popping in here just for a quick apology. You may notice in this episode that McKay's audio sounds like an absolute dumpster fire. He is in the process of moving, and I have done the absolute best I could with it. So I hope it's not terrible, and you still enjoy the show.
All right.
So McKay,
Yes.
do you want to hear my favorite joke of all time?
I guess I don't have much of a choice. To
Good, because I was gonna tell you anyways.
All right.
So, have you ever thought about how cowboys are just reverse ninjas?
I've never once thought about that. No.
Yeah, because cowboys go yee-haw and ninjas go hee-yaw.
This is true. That's pretty good. Is that?
Yeah,
I'm trying to think
brilliant.
if it's. I'm trying to think if that's racist or not, but I don't think it is.
Hey, no, wait.
I don't think is he a racist term.
I don't know. Is it?
I don't. I mean, it maybe it's
I don't
kind of
think
making
so.
fun of a real word that ninjas use. I don't think- but I don't know.
Listen, I'm not saying the joke is historically accurate. Okay, it just
I
it's
know
a good
for a,
joke.
I
All
know
right,
for a
I
fact
like it.
Yeehaw is cultural appropriation of cowboys, so I wouldn't go around.
Yeah,
spreading that if I were
well,
you.
listen, I'm tall, lanky, and white. I was born to be a cowboy.
You
That's
were a
not true.
cowboy.
I don't. Horses. I don't know. I've been on a horse once in my life.
Well, it doesn't say.
Hello, and welcome to Die on Any Hill, the show where McKay and I plant our flags and die on any hill.
That's the show.
It is. That is, in fact, the show.
You mean cracking open my new Fanta Haunted Apple?
Your Fanta Haunted Apple?
The new, based off the new Beetlejuice movie. It's like
Whomst would have died to provide you such a refreshing beverage?
an apple, I guess. It's a haunted. Or,
okay.
Yes, it's an apple. It's pretty good.
But so I'm assuming, because it's haunted apple, I'm assuming the apple itself is haunted.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's true. I don't know if it's the apple doing the haunting or if the apple itself is the haunted object. But maybe I think it's the apple is haunted by Beetlejuice because he's on the can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, careful. You already said his name. You only get one more. Well, no, you don't get any more times.
I already said it.
If you say it again,
Okay, I won't.
it's 3
I won't
times.
say it again.
3 times it must be spoken unbroken.
Well, it's been broken. It's been broken several times. So I think.
No, you've only said it twice. We're fine. You just cannot say it again for the rest of this episode, because if you do, I don't know, Beetlejuice comes and
Okay, I think you said it.
steals
You said it
our
at least twice
faces.
now. So.
Oh shit! So neither of us can say it again.
Oh,
All right.
Oh crap! I stepped on a beetle. What's this? I got all over the bottom of my shoe. Oh, what is the word I'm thinking
Oh
of?
no! Is it Beetlejuice?
Whoa.
Whoa! Okay.
We're haunted.
So this is a show where we each bring some sort of opinion or statement and argue for it, regardless of whether we actually believe it or not, because I like doing that.
Good point.
Yeah. Why don't you go first, McKay?
Oh, all right. What a pleasant surprise. I think that. Wait a sec. Oh yes, okay. Now I remember my tape. I think that buffets are the superior dining experience because you where you're sitting down at a menu and you have too many options and you can't think about which one you want, and you know that you're just going to spend a lot of money for something that you may not be happy with, that is probably just going to be too small of a portion, and you're going to leave unfull, you're going to leave unsatisfied, and you spend a lot of money. What if you could just spend a lot of money and get as much food as you want, as many different kinds of food as you want, and that's it. That's the whole take. It's superior.
What sort of Dionysian feast could you be describing?
You ever been to Golden Corral? They got they got a little bit of everything. That's what I'm
yes. To dine with the gods is to dine at Golden Corral.
Hey, this isn't a plain old wood corral. This is the corral of the gods. It's golden. It's made of gold.
It is golden. Wow.
Yeah. What's the pizza one? Cece's.
Cece's. We used to go to Cece's all the time. I loved
did.
Cece's.
Our Cece's in our town here just closed, unfortunately. That was.
I'm pretty sure
that was where my family went
closed.
for our. Did it really the whole thing closed, or is it just? Is the whole company closed?
Well, we might still have one on the. We might still have one. I remember the one we used to go to as a kid closed down.
Dang. I really hope the whole thing is still kicking. But that was. Yeah.
I mean, it was crappy pizza.
Whoa. I mean, maybe, but at the time, you could get unlimited pizza for $6.
That is true.
It was a crazy deal. And it was like, they had the macaroni and cheese pizza, they had all the dessert pizzas. You could...
Everyone is obsessed with mac and cheese pizza, and I don't get it. Everyone's obsessed with mac and cheese, and mac and cheese is okay.
It's... Yeah, I don't know what. Hey, it's great on pizza, okay? You say what you want about it as a noodle dish, but it's good.
It's fine, but no, I don't know. Besides the point, yeah. I only have one thing to refute your argument.
Okay. Well, sounds like easy win for me.
It's just that I refuse to dine in a place that has a piece of equipment called a sneeze guard. Because that implies that people be sneezing enough to need a guard over my food.
So, by the opposite truth of that statement, you will only eat at restaurants that don't have a sneeze guard. So you are fine with people sneezing on your food.
Yes.
So you would prefer that your food is vulnerable.
But I want it to be a chef sneezing on my food. You know, because they do it with purpose. It adds to the dish.
That's the special ingredient.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I personally refuse to eat anywhere that doesn't have a sneeze guard, because I personally just kind of think that's disgusting when people sneeze on my food. So, hey, say it's a hot take.
That's a problem.
Say it's a hot take. I don't like my food sneezed on.
It's a real controversial opinion to have there.
Yeah.
But no, it's just, and there's people touching the food, and people just put their fingers on it and put it back. I've seen people do it at every buffet I've ever been at.
Okay,
it's gross.
I think your town is maybe a little different than my town. People are a little more civilized over here.
Nah, you just don't see it.
I just went to Golden Corral for the first time in 10 years a couple weeks ago, because my friend had never even heard of Golden Corral, actually. And
it does seem like a very Midwestern thing.
Yeah. I wonder how many people, I wonder if it is actually popular everywhere, or if it is just a Midwestern thing. But
I think buffets in general are kind of a Midwestern thing.
Why? I get, obviously the quality of the food can't be at the same level of a regular restaurant where every dish is prepared specifically for the order. But for the bang for your buck and the variety, you just can't beat a buffet. And if I'm going out of my way to pay for a meal that I want to be filled up by, you just can't beat the buffet.
I mean, I feel like most restaurants give you a decent portion size, especially in America. Our food's giant.
Like, it just depends. It just depends, I guess. It varies from restaurant to restaurant, and I don't know.
You have no further arguments for a buffet.
Give me a second.
Because they're bad.
Give me...
They're gross. People are touching your food.
No one's touching the food.
Yes, they are.
No one's sneezing on the food.
Do not lie to yourself.
No one's sneezing on the food because there's a sneeze guard, and no one's touching the food because they give you utensils to use.
People don't use the utensils.
I've never once seen someone just reach their hand into a buffet.
I absolutely have.
Well, I'm sorry that you had to have that. But coming from someone who prefers to have his food sneezed on, I don't know why that's such a big issue for you.
I like it sneezed on by a chef who has carefully constructed his own diet to correct the correct amount of mucus required for the dish. It's a very intricate process.
You don't know what the occupations of the people eating.
I only dine at 6-star restaurants.
I see.
They're more exclusive than 5 stars. Okay.
So how many are there? Did you know? Okay, did you know the Michelin?
There's an infinite number of stars in our night sky, McKay.
The Michelin star. Have you heard of that? Like the restaurant critic. A Michelin star.
Yeah, it's the Michelin star is how you know you're going north.
Yeah. If you look up and you see the Michelin star.
Yeah, isn't it on the end of the Big Dipper or something?
Yeah, it's right there, hanging off the end of the Big Dipper.
Okay, but
but it's also
a food rating format, of course.
I just found out that is like the same thing as the Michelin Tire Company with the Tire Man.
Really?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I love that so
much. They specialize in tires and then just randomly have a whole restaurant rating system on the side.
That makes me infinitely happy.
I think what I read was that it was like they were trying to like encourage people to go on road trips or whatever to use their tires, and so they were like, these are the restaurants we recommend you try across America. Go try all the Michelin star restaurants. And then somehow people just took it so seriously that it became like a really revered, prestigious thing to get a Michelin star.
Wow.
I wonder how many Michelin stars Golden Corral has. Probably a lot.
I mean, at least 7.
At least. Which is more exclusive than your 6-star restaurants.
Actually, it's not, which is surprising.
Oh.
After 6 stars is the most
6 is like the
exclusive,
peak, and then it starts going back down.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Exactly. It's like you have the trail climbing Mount Everest, and 6 is at the summit, but then you have to go back down, so that's when you start hitting 7, 8, 9, 10.
Gotcha, okay. So the 10-star restaurants are the ones you really want to avoid.
Yes.
Gotcha, okay.
Absolutely. And actually, the most exclusive of all of them are the 5.5 star restaurants, because 5's kind of at one side of the summit and then 6 is on the other side of the summit.
Right.
So you got to get to 5.5 to be at the very top.
It shows a lot of precision to get that extra little half star. Not
you got to know somebody to get in.
It takes that extra little sneeze to get to the half star.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. What other buffets are there? I've been trying to think, but Golden Corral's really the only one coming to mind.
I feel like Asian buffets are a big thing.
Oh yes, okay. Those those are actually pretty gross. We had one really gross one in this town that since shut down.
We also had one in this town that got shut down because there were cats in its freezer.
Like
I wish that was a lie. I so wish that was a lie.
What does that mean? There are cats in the freezer. Like, as in they were being prepared to be put out with.
I don't know that.
Yeah, we don't want to jump to any assumptions here.
I'm not jumping to conclusion. The only facts I know is that cats were in the freezer.
They were just the owner's dead cats that he was just preserving and just going to
He was probably putting them in cryo sleep, you know, kind of like Walt Disney's head.
Right. Yeah.
And then when scientific advancements have been made to revive them, obviously.
He definitely was not putting them out to be eaten. I need to look up why ours closed down. I bet there's some crazy reason. Probably not as crazy as the cats, but...
I mean, a lot of restaurants get shut down by the health department. Because a lot of restaurants be really gross.
It has nothing to do with it being a buffet. That's just... The health department's just picky.
Sure.
I bet it didn't even have a sneeze guard. I bet that's why it got shut down.
No sneeze guard.
I guess.
People were just sneezing everywhere in that food.
Disgusting. Okay. I think that's all I got.
On buffets, that's fair.
Yeah, I feel like I'm trying to think of like recent buffet experiences I've had, but so many of our buffets have shut down.
That's the thing.
That I really can't even think.
I haven't been to a buffet in years.
I just remember having great experiences
I think they're gross.
at CC's. I mean, I actually went to CC's for my graduation lunch, like
nice.
Yeah, with my parents. So that was
nice.
That was a good deal for them. Instead of having to pay for some expensive, nice dinner, we went to CC's.
Aren't you such a considerate son?
Yes, I am. Because I knew everyone would like it. So, I said CC's.
And they did.
Yeah.
That is something about buffets that I will give them credit for. It's like everybody has something.
Yes, everyone's got something to eat, and they're going to get their money's worth. So.
Usually,
unless they want their food to be sneezed on, then maybe not.
But listen, that's just for us upper class.
5.5 star.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, the 5.5 stars.
Right.
You'll get there one day.
I hope so. I can only hope. All right, now that's officially all I have to say on the matter.
Cool. Me too. You know what's something they don't usually have at buffets, McKay?
Dead cats.
What?
Dead cats.
Big hats?
No, dead cats.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes, that is true. You know what else they don't usually have?
What is that?
Fish. And you know what should be fish? What should have the classification of fish?
Buffets? Are you saying buffets should be classified as fish?
No.
That's what it sounds like to me.
No, I'm the thing. Hold on. You know what should have the classification of fish? It's whales.
Okay.
Whales, much like buffets, should be fish.
Okay, well, go ahead and explain that.
What's the main thing we know about fish?
They have gills.
Fish love the water. That was close, but not all fish have gills. Look at the whale. Whales don't have gills. Whales also love water.
Look at the creature
Therefore,
that's
whale is fish.
Not classified as a fish. It doesn't have gills. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, okay. No, whales should be fish because they exist in water. Anything that exists in water should be a fish.
What about a sea turtle?
Fish.
Okay, so even though there are zero characteristics of a fish. It doesn't have gills. It doesn't
fins.
have the scales. What about a sea snake?
It's got fins, and it does have scales,
I guess
doesn't
it does have scales, actually, yes. Maybe. I don't know if they all do. I feel like some of them don't. I feel like some of them are leathery.
One of those giant things on its back, just a big old scale.
That's a shell.
Scale, shell, same thing.
What about a sea snake?
Fish. That's just one big fin.
What about a rock sitting at the bottom of the ocean? What about the Titanic?
Fish.
Are you gonna say?
No, the Titanic is most certainly a fish, and it's a predatory one at that.
Yeah, it'll get you if you're not careful.
You better watch out. It's gonna sneak up on you. It's gonna get you. The Titanic's coming. No,
Titanic
but like, okay. The main
what
point
if it's like
here.
the Jaws music, but you hear the "My Heart Will Go On" song, like instead of the dun 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 dun.
That would. I would cry. I would just start crying and accept my fate to be consumed by Celine Dion once again.
Celine Dion a fish.
Yes.
What about you, as someone who craves water, whose body is actually 70% water? Your body is probably more water than a fish's body.
In water. No, it's not. A fish is like mostly water, anyways.
I'm gonna look this up. How much you want to bet
How
that a
much-
fish's body,
Okay,
that your body
no.
is more water than a fish's body?
Let me explain my point more articulately. So technically, there is no such thing as fish as a species.
Okay.
They don't exist. There are different species of aquatic life.
So suddenly your argument is that whales should be named something that doesn't exist.
No, but we still call them fish. We call things that live in the ocean and have, like you said, fins and such. We call them fish. Fish aren't technically a thing because most species of fish are more distantly related than we are from the fish. So fish aren't technically a thing. They're all just wildly different sets of species, which is what a whale is. So a whale should be a fish.
Okay, I didn't really follow anything you said there, to be honest. But
Oh my god.
so you're just saying that the word fish is just a made-up word for a bunch of random animals. Scientifically, there's no such thing as a fish. As like a classification, fish does not exist. As a classification, does whale exist?
A whale is the type of animal.
A fish is a type of animal.
No, it's not.
How is fish, as a general term, any...
There are different species of animals that live in the ocean.
Yes.
And we only call them all fish is because they live their lives primarily under the water.
No.
And it's a way of just...
No,
No, we do. Scientifically. No.
No. The reason you call them fish is because they have gills and scales. And mammal... Okay, so the thing that makes...
Not all fish have scales. What about sharks?
They
don't have scales.
Okay, fine, they have gills. Gills are really the defining feature. And the fact that whales have lungs and hair makes them mammals.
No. No, it's because they give live birth, I believe it is, that makes them mammals.
Okay, I mean, that's one thing, but I'm pretty positive that other two things also are...
But they can be mammals and also be a fish.
How?
Because, again, scientifically speaking, there is no classification of fish.
Okay.
Right?
Merriam-Webster Dictionary defines fish as...
Don't bring Merriam-Webster into this. Merriam and Webster do not know anything.
Any of numerous cold-blooded... Okay, so there we go. Within the first 5 words, whales are not cold-blooded. Mammals are not cold-blooded.
Have you ever felt a whale's blood?
That's not what it means, but very funny.
Have you ever looked down at your arms and seen your hands covered in the blood of fallen whales?
You don't know what kind of life I live. So, yes. Yes, I have. And I can confirm that it is warm. It's very warm. And it's not cold. Like a fish. To continue...
Okay, right. So what does Merriam-Webster say fish are?
Any of numerous cold-blooded, strictly aquatic... So I guess there's your point. craniate vertebrates that include the bony fishes and usually the cartilaginous and jawless fishes that have typically an elongated, somewhat spindle-shaped body.
Wait, so it's using fish in its definition of itself?
Yes.
So Merriam-Webster is using the word to define itself.
No, he's saying, okay, that was all like the first phrase is what it's using to define it. Any of numerous cold-blooded, strictly aquatic craniate vertebrates. And then it has like a little subsection.
What is a whale if not a cold-blooded?
It's not cold-blooded.
Cranium invertebrate.
So what is a whale if not cold-blooded? It's not cold-blooded. It's a warm-blooded mammal.
What is the whale if not an invertebrate with cranium and strictly aquatic?
Whales are not strictly aquatic.
What happens when a whale gets on land? It dies. You cannot say whales are not strictly aquatic. I swear to God.
They have to come up above the water to breathe, to live, because they don't have gills. Fish don't have to do that. Fish are strictly aquatic. Whales, on the other hand...
What about flying fish? What about any... Okay, so...
Whales are leisurely aquatic.
You're saying that if it never leaves the water in its entire life, it's it's a fish. So what if like it's a catch and release fish that somebody caught? Well, it's above the water. I guess it's not a fish anymore.
Now it's food or a pet or oil for my lamp.
No, what? No, that's whales.
That's whales.
Which according
definitely
to
not a
fish.
Fish. Definitely not a fish.
They are fish. They are strictly aquatic.
What about
Yes.
What is a craniate vertebrate? Having a cranium. Okay.
Is it?
So I guess.
Is it a cranium vertebrate? Is that just a vertebrate with a skull?
It just says having a cranium. So I guess that takes out like jellyfish or sea urchins or whatever.
So are jellyfish a fish?
No.
Yes?
No.
Did you just say
no.
yes?
I did not. I said no.
Alright, what are they then? What is a jellyfish?
Merriam-Webster defines jellyfish as...
God damn it.
The typically free-swimming, bell-shaped, usually sexually reproducing solitary or colonial form of a cnidarian in which the whorls of tentacles lined with pneumatocysts arise and hang down from the margin of the nearly transparent gelatinous bell. That's one of their better definitions. That's some nice word.
It is. I'm impressed. I didn't understand a single word of it.
So that's how you know they know what they're talking about.
And what did it say? Fish.
Nah, that was not.
Okay, but it's in the name. It is in the name. Jellyfish.
Okay, well, it's not a whalefish, so that's not really relevant at all to the whale argument.
But you're not abiding by your own definition.
Wait, what is my own definition? What are you talking about?
Because you just defined fish as with the cranium and vertebrate and free aquatic life
jellyfish
thingy,
have none of those.
And that's a jellyfish.
No, jellyfish do not have cranium.
Yes.
And they do not have a vertebrae.
Agree. You're the one calling a jellyfish.
They don't even
have
blood. They don't have They don't have any of those three things that you just said.
But you just called him a fish.
A jellyfish is a compound word that's different than... It's not even a compound word. It's just its own word. Just because the letters F-I-S-H happen to be in the title...
don't contain other words, McKay. Don't be ridiculous.
Just because the letters F-I-S-H are in the word jellyfish doesn't mean that it's just a fish.
Just because the words F-U are coming through the chat doesn't mean...
It doesn't mean anything. It means nothing to me.
It means nothing. Don't ban me, moderators.
If I went to a wedding and there was the guy up there talking, what do you call him? What do you call the guy that talks at the front of the wedding?
Officiant?
Oh, so he must be a fish, because.
No, it's spelled different.
No, it sounds like fish. It sounds like you just said fish in his name.
You're right. Actually, you are correct. He is a fish.
And I bet he's made.
Or she.
I bet he's made 70% of water. I bet he likes to drink water. I bet he likes to go swimming now and then. So,
Fish like to drink water.
I don't think fish drink water.
Where does the water go when they open their mouths?
They're not. I mean, they are consuming it. They're not drinking it.
Are we gonna have look up drink in Merriam-Webster?
All right.
The verb, not the noun.
Merriam-Webster defines drink as to imbibe or swallow, to take in or suck up.
What are fish doing? And you know what whales do when they open their mouth to get all their planktons?
Okay, I think we've lost sight of the argument here, but yeah,
I don't know what you're talking about.
They are drinking.
Yeah, and fish drink, and what do whales do drink? Whales are fish.
Then you're a fish by whatever. I don't even know where this argument's going anymore. But by the definition of anything that drinks is a fish, you're a fish now.
Not everything that drinks is a fish. But there's fish in the name of the whale. It's hidden.
The F-I-S-H are all silent.
Yes. If you look really closely, you'll see F-I-S-H hidden in the L.
Tiny font.
In tiny font every time whale is written. And if you've written it another way, you've been spelling it wrong this whole time.
And you don't even know your grammar. And so you don't even talk to us.
So you're the dumb one.
I don't really know where else I could go with that, because it sounds like you have a very strict set of rules here for what a fish is.
And I'm correct. And at the end of the day, we've learned that whales are, in fact, fish.
Seals.
Wheels?
Seals.
Wheels are not fish.
Seals. S-E-A-L-S.
I have no idea what you're saying. Oh, seals?
Yes.
Definitely fish.
What about the bottom of a boat?
In the bottom of a boat? You may not know this, but most boats are made out of organic materials that are fish. They actually strap a fish to the bottom of a boat in order to sail.
So a rudder is just a fish.
Yeah, there's a fish down there.
What is the top of the boat though?
That's wood. Have you never seen a boat?
Where does fish end and wood begin?
Well, the fish is what's driving the boat.
How's it all connected? Is the fish still alive? Does it hurt the fish?
Yeah, no, it's alive. It's a symbiotic relationship.
How does the
fuse
boat
the fish
possibly
with the
benefit a fish?
The boat. Well, it doesn't.
Okay, then it's not a symbiotic relationship.
Well, it is, because
using
using dark magic, they fuse the fish to the boat. Do we what?
You mean to pull out Merriam-Webster?
No, we don't need to do that. That's not important.
Okay. Well, it's not a symbiotic relationship if both parties aren't being benefited.
Sure they are.
How is the fish being benefited?
The fish gets to be a boat, and that's kind of sick.
That kind of sucks. I would not want to be
it'd be rad. Can you imagine just being a boat?
Yeah, and it would suck. That would be like...
No, you'd get to sail the open seas. Free as a bird or a fish. Free as a fish.
You're not free as a fish if you have a big wooden hole attached to your top.
What? Yeah, what do you mean? That's just part of it.
Okay.
My arguments are... I don't know the word.
Wait, what?
But yeah, I'm slowly running out of things to say about whales being fish.
Yeah, I don't think there's much to say about it, so.
Other than whales are in fact fish.
Other than just saying it over and over again. I think that's all can be said about it.
No, because whales live in the water, and fish is just a term to refer to things that live in water. Whales are fish.
Fish is not, you're just saying, okay, so that's just something you made up, that fish are terms for just things in the water. That's not true.
Yes, I did not make that up.
Fish are specifically...
When you refer to a fish, do you refer to something living in the water?
Yes. Okay, all right then. Fish live in water. All fish...
Did you just shush me?
No, Hankin. No, I don't think so. I think I said... I don't know what I said, but I didn't shush you. Um, all fish live in water, but not all things that live in water are fish. It's not a mutually exclusive kind of deal.
But they should be. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, that's a different argument. Should be versus
Why?
is a different argument.
No, we should call them fish because they are fish.
Okay, that's another. Now this is a third different argument.
No, it's not. My argument this whole time has been whales are fish.
Okay. All right, this subject is dried up. I feel like a whale
What do you
flopping
mean?
around.
Yeah, because
it
it wouldn't live outside of the water because it's a fish. And if you don't want this podcast to be a fish on a beach, hey, recommend it to somebody. Subscribe so you can get those notifications.
Do not recommend.
Download it so I can watch.
Do not recommend this episode. Have them start with.
Whales are you shush. You shush.
They will be clicking off if they start with this episode.
I don't know what you're talking about.